What happens when a tech millionaire known for biohacking and longevity visits one of the most polluted cities in the world? Well, he walks out midway through a high-profile podcast. Bryan Johnson, the 47-year-old entrepreneur and longevity advocate, made headlines when he abruptly left Nikhil Kamath's WTF podcast. And the reason? India's air pollution. Internet was quick to react. What went so wrong that he had to leave? To address the speculation, Johnson took to social media, detailing his experience. He stated that despite his precautions, his skin broke out in a rash, his throat burned, and his eyes stung, all within just 3 days in India. He expressed shock that despite the well-known dangers of air pollution, people in India have normalized it. He saw runners, children, and entire families breathing toxic air, with no one wearing masks. And the data backs his concerns. Inside the recording room, the AQI was 130, with PM 2.5 levels at 75 micrograms per cubic meter. That's equivalent to smoking 3.4 cigarettes per day. But Johnson didn't stop there. He argued that fixing India's air quality would do more for public health than even curing all cancers. A bold statement, but not without merit. He questioned why India's leaders haven't declared air pollution a national emergency, suggesting that interests, money, and power might be keeping the status quo intact. To a large extent, India has normalized air pollution, especially in major cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, or Bengaluru. Despite severe health risks, people have adapted to living with poor air quality, often without taking precautions like wearing masks or using air purifiers. Several factors contribute to this normalization. Desensitization over time. Persistent pollution has made people accept it as part of daily life, similar to how traffic congestion or noise pollution is tolerated. Lack of immediate health effects. While air pollution causes long-term diseases like respiratory issues and cardiovascular problems, the immediate impact isn't always visible, making it easier to ignore. Government and policy changes. Despite action plans like the Graded Response Action Plan and the National Clean Air Program, enforcement remains inconsistent and pollution levels keep rising every year. Economic and social constraints. Many people, especially daily wage earners, can't afford to stay indoors or buy air purifiers, making adaptation their only choice. Not an election issue. No political party, either at the center or at the state level, has been able to make it a central pole issue. Experts suggest that tackling air pollution in India requires strong political will, strict enforcement of policies, and increased public awareness. Until then, the normalization of toxic air will continue to put millions at risk. When Johnson returned to the US, he had an epiphany. He also noticed something that had been normalized around him: obesity. With 42.4% of Americans classified as obese, he drew a parallel. Just as Indians accept pollution, Americans accept unhealthy lifestyles. Bryan Johnson's exit from the podcast was more than just about air pollution. It was about the dangerous realities we have all come to accept. The question is, when will we act? So what do you think? Was Bryan Johnson right in walking out, or was this an overreaction? Has India accepted the poor air quality? Let us know in the comments below. For more news and updates, keep watching Live Mint.